Recognize the member for North Van Seymour.
Thank you, Chair. My question is about film tax credits, and I've got a couple here. Would the minister inform me if there are any plans to change the current film tax credit system?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. There aren't any changes, as the member knows, in the film tax credits for this budget. But I wondered, and there aren't plans, but if, is the minister or is the member concerned about a particular tax credit? Is there one that she'd specifically like to ask about? That might be easier than going through every tax credit since there aren't changes. And I'm happy to respond to a specific credit. Thank you.
Member.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it would be helpful to get that list. I know that as per the platform and the mandate letter, will there be BC's film labour tax credits will be extended to BC writers. I know that was in there. I'm wondering if you can give me some clarification on that and any other items that were in the platform that refer to film tax credits.
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair. We're working on the writers piece, as the member mentioned. It's part of the election platform, so it's a piece that's being worked on and developed. But I won't talk about tax issues that may or may not be in the February budget. That'll come in the February budget. The finance minister doesn't give that advance notice on tax changes that occur for all kinds of good reasons, so that they aren't utilized. But certainly, as the member mentioned, the writer's credit was a piece that was in the platform that's being worked on.
Member.
So the writer's part of the tax credit, then, is that going to be encompassed in the next budget?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair, and to the member, that'll be a decision that will be made as part of the budget process. So that decision will be announced in the February budget, just as all tax changes are.
Member.
Thank you. So another question. Is there any interest in adding a labour tax credit for the hiring of BC directors?
Minister of Finance.
Again, all issues are being looked at. It's certainly been an issue that I've heard raised with me as well. It's been an issue that I know has been raised with the Minister of Arts, Culture and Tourism, and so is part of the discussion. But at this point, as I said, decisions will be made for the February budget.
Member.
Thank you, Chair. How will the government ensure federal investments for telefilm and the Canadian Media Fund are provided in more equal measures than the Quebec and Ontario portions that they get from telefilm and the Canadian Media Fund?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thanks to the member for the question. This is, again, one of those issues that crosses over because although the money may be collected, as everything is, through the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture works with Creative BC and other organizations to work on those pieces. So it would be better a question to get the specifics around the lobbying work that's done to ensure that BC gets our fair share to that ministry.
Member.
Thank you for that clarification. So yes, indeed, I will ask it to the other minister because there are some stats that I was informed about that those two federal funds plus the CBC actually preferentially give more money to Ontario and Quebec than British Columbia, which is totally unfair because the taxpayers are actually paying for that. So I would consider that a top priority to rectify on that ministry. My other question maybe is going to the other ministry as well. Would the government consider the creation of a feature film fund to ensure that regional parity is achieved in funding distribution?
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair, and thank you to the member. I know the member does great work on making sure that the film industry's issues are raised and the creative arts area are raised. But yes, that would be better given to the minister who's responsible for that.
Member.
Thank you very much, Chair. In the platform, there was a mention of We will coordinate with colleges, technical institutions, and other post-secondary institutions to connect students with manufacturers for training and provide incentives to manufacturers to become training partners. Perhaps this is another ministry question, but I'll ask it. Does that include the film industry with regards to sustainability in their industry, as well as skills training for the industry?
Minister of Finance?
Thank you very much, Chair. Sorry, I was just trying to determine whether it was jobs, skills, or whether it was with advanced education. So I think both of those ministries, I can get a specific for the member just so she knows which minister to route it to. I'm happy to do that.
Member?
Thank you, Chair. And I would appreciate any information that the minister could give me on any tax issues with regards to the film tax credits, because as she knows, the value of the film industry is huge for our economy, the provincial economy, as well as the amount of jobs that the industry provides for all of us province-wide. And it's really important that if there is going to be any tax changes with film tax credits, that the industry is well informed, well consulted, and working with the industry, with government and all ministries, because I know it's not just finance, but it's the jobs and obviously arts and culture. When those tax changes occur, would the industry be consulted?
Minister?
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair, and certainly I'll reinforce the members' views around the film industry and the contribution it makes to BC's economy, the contribution it makes to the life of our communities. I think we certainly agree on that piece and how important they are to British Columbia. And on consultation, I've had a number of meetings with film producers and others in the industry. I'm continuing to do those meetings, and certainly there will be consultations if there are any changes contemplated. We want to make sure you know the impact of any changes if they're looked at. And so there are ongoing discussions that occur on tax credits, both concerns and pieces that people are pleased about or changes they may want us to contemplate. So those are ongoing conversations between staff as well as the minister and the industry.
Member?
I just want to say thank you and keep us posted. Thank you.
Recognize the member for Skeena.
Thank you,